In the year 2087, something extraordinary happened. Humanity had been searching the stars for decades, hoping to find proof that they were not alone in the universe. That proof finally came, but it wasn't what anyone expected. At a small observatory nestled in the desert of New Mexico, a young astrophysicist named Alex Carter was scanning the skies as he always did. He loved his work and spent countless nights staring into the vastness of space, looking for anything unusual. On this particular night, he noticed something strange, a faint signal coming from deep space. At first, Alex thought it might be interference or a glitch in the equipment. But when he double-checked, the signal was still there, faint but steady. It didn't match any known patterns from Earth or natural cosmic phenomena. Excited and curious, Alex called over his colleague, Rachel Myers, who was working on another project nearby. Together, they began analyzing the signal more closely. What they found was both thrilling and unsettling. The signal contained coordinates pointing to a distant star system far beyond anything humanity had explored before. But there was more. Hidden within the transmission were symbols, cryptic markings that looked like some kind of alien writing. Alex and Rachel worked tirelessly to decode them. After hours of effort, they managed to piece together fragments of a message. It wasn't perfect. The translation was rough, but the meaning was clear enough to send chills down their spines. The message read, "Do not come here. You are dangerous." Rachel stared at the screen, her brow furrowed. Dangerous? What does that even mean? She asked, turning to Alex. He shook his head, equally puzzled. I don't know, but whoever sent this is scared of us, he replied. The idea seemed absurd. Humans had only begun exploring space seriously in the last century. How could an advanced alien civilization already know about Earth, and worse, fear its people? Word of the discovery quickly reached higher authorities. Within days, representatives from the United Nations Space Coalition arrived at the observatory. They listened intently as Alex and Rachel explained their findings. The implications were enormous. If aliens knew about Earth, then humanity wasn't alone after all. But why would they send such a warning? And why did they see humans as a threat? While theories swirled among scientists and government officials, one thing became certain. The signal couldn't be ignored. Preparations began almost immediately for a mission to investigate the coordinates. A state-of-the-art spaceship called the Odyssey was chosen for the task. Its crew included skilled astronauts, engineers, and soldiers, all eager to uncover the truth behind the mysterious message. As the launch date approached, Alex and Rachel were invited to join the mission. Both felt a mix of excitement and dread. They knew they were stepping into the unknown, venturing into territory no human had ever explored. But they also couldn't shake the feeling that they were walking into a trap, or perhaps something far bigger than they could imagine. On the day of the launch, crowds gathered to watch the Odyssey ascend into the sky. For many, it was a moment of hope, a chance to meet intelligent life beyond Earth. For others, it was a leap into uncertainty, driven by questions without answers. As the ship disappeared into the atmosphere, Alex gazed out the window at the shrinking blue planet below. He wondered if humanity was ready for what lay ahead. Whatever awaited them at those coordinates, one thing was sure, it would change everything. The journey to the distant star system was long and filled with anticipation. The Odyssey traveled for months, its crew working tirelessly to ensure everything ran smoothly. Captain Logan Hayes, a calm and experienced leader, kept morale high despite the tension that lingered in the air. Everyone aboard knew they were heading into uncharted territory, guided only by the cryptic warning they had received. Each day brought them closer to answers, but also to potential danger. Alex Carter and Rachel Myers spent much of their time analyzing data from the signal. They hoped to uncover more clues about who had sent it and why. Though the initial message had been chilling, Alex couldn't help but feel curious. Why would anyone fear us? He asked Rachel one evening as they reviewed their notes. She shrugged, her expression thoughtful. "Maybe we're not what they expected," she replied. "Or maybe we've done something before we even realized it." As the Odyssey approached the coordinates, the crew prepared for whatever might await them. Their sensors detected a massive object floating silently in space, a derelict alien ship. It was ancient, its surface scarred by time and damage, yet still imposing. The sight of it filled the bridge with awe and unease. "This is it," Logan said quietly, his voice steady but tinged with caution. "Let's find out what happened here." The team deployed drones to explore the wreckage. Inside, they discovered strange symbols etched into the walls, similar to those in the original transmission. But there was something else. Records stored in an alien database. With some effort, Alex and Rachel managed to access parts of it. What they found shocked everyone. The logs detailed encounters between aliens and humans. Not modern humans, but settlers from Earth who had ventured far beyond their home planet centuries ago. These settlers weren't portrayed as peaceful explorers. Instead, they were described as fierce hunters, relentless and cunning. Footage showed men and women using crude weapons like bows, spears, and traps to take down towering alien predators. In one recording, a lone hunter faced off against a massive armored beast. Using quick thinking and raw determination, the human lured the creature into a trap and killed it with nothing more than a sharpened piece of metal. The video ended abruptly, leaving the crew stunned. Lieutenant Marcus Kane, the ship's head of security, watched the footage intently. His sharp eyes narrowed as he processed what he saw. "This changes everything," he muttered. When others asked what he meant, he explained grimly. "These aliens don't see us as equals, or even as enemies. They see us as apex predators. That's why they're afraid." The realization weighed heavily on the crew. Humanity had always thought of itself as vulnerable compared to advanced alien civilizations. But now, they were learning that their reputation preceded them. Stories of human resilience and adaptability had spread across the stars, evolving into myths that painted Earth's people as unstoppable hunters. Rachel couldn't shake the feeling that this revelation came with a price. "If they're so scared of us," she said to Alex during a quiet moment, "then why send us that warning? Why not just stay away?" Alex didn't have an answer. He could only guess that fear sometimes led to aggression, and that the aliens might be planning something drastic. Back on the bridge, Logan made a decision. "We need to be ready for anything," he told his crew. "Whatever these aliens are planning, we can't let our guard down." He ordered Kane to prepare defensive measures while the scientists continued studying the derelict ship. As the days passed, the crew grew increasingly aware that they weren't alone in the void. Something, or someone, was watching them, and it was clear that the watchers were afraid. As the crew of the Odyssey continued exploring the derelict alien ship, a sense of unease settled over them. The more they uncovered, the clearer it became that humanity's reputation had traveled far beyond Earth, and not in a way anyone could have predicted. The logs and recordings showed humans as relentless hunters, capable of outsmarting even the most advanced species. But there was something else lurking beneath the surface. Fear. These aliens weren't just wary of humans. They were terrified. Lieutenant Marcus Kane couldn't stop thinking about the footage they'd found. Images of human settlers using primitive tools to take down massive alien beasts kept replaying in his mind. "They're predators," he said aloud during a meeting with Captain Logan Hayes and the rest of the leadership team. "And predators don't back down when threatened." Logan nodded slowly, his expression thoughtful. "If that's true, then we need to be ready for anything. If these aliens think we're dangerous, they might decide to act first." Rachel Myers wasn't so sure. She sat quietly in the corner of the room, her notebook open but untouched. Her thoughts were racing. Why would an advanced civilization fear humans? Sure, the settlers in the footage had been clever and resourceful, but they were hardly a match for starships and energy weapons. Something didn't add up. When she voiced her concerns, Alex Carter spoke up. "Maybe it's not about technology," he suggested. Maybe it's about mindset. Humans adapt. We survive no matter what. That scares them because they can't predict us. The discussion shifted toward preparing for potential conflict. Kane began training his soldiers, focusing on unconventional tactics inspired by the ancient hunters in the alien records. He emphasized stealth, quick thinking, and improvisation. If we're going to live up to their legends, he told his team, we need to fight like they did. Meanwhile, Alex and Rachel worked tirelessly to decode more of the alien database, hoping to find answers about who these beings were and why they had sent the warning. Back on Earth, news of the discovery spread quickly. Governments convened emergency meetings to discuss the implications. Some argued that humanity should retreat into isolation, avoiding contact with other species altogether. Others believed this newfound reputation could be used to humanity's advantage. If they're scared of us, one official said during a televised address, then let's make sure they stay scared. The idea sparked heated debates across the globe, dividing public opinion. On board the Odyssey, tensions ran high. Ensign Daniel Brooks, a young engineer assigned to monitor external sensors, noticed strange readings one night. At first, he dismissed them as glitches caused by radiation or debris. But when he reviewed the data again, he realized something was moving outside the ship, something alive. Alarms blared as the crew scrambled to identify the source. Through the viewport, glowing eyes appeared briefly before vanishing into the darkness. It's testing us, Logan said after the incident. His voice was calm, but his words carried weight. Whatever is out there knows we're here, and it wants to see how we'll react. Kane agreed. Then let's give them something to remember, he replied grimly. Over the next few days, the crew fortified the ship's defenses. They set traps around the hull and prepared ambush points inside the vessel. If the Watchers decided to strike, humanity would be ready. For now, though, all they could do was wait and wonder what the aliens' next move would be. Despite the tension, Alex remained hopeful. As he studied the alien records, he couldn't help but feel a spark of pride. Humanity had always been survivors, finding ways to thrive against impossible odds. Now it seemed the rest of the galaxy knew it too. But as Rachel reminded him, being feared came with risks. We've earned their respect, she said softly, but respect and trust aren't the same thing. As the Odyssey drifted silently among the stars, its crew braced themselves for whatever came next. One thing was certain: the galaxy would never look at humanity the same way again. The Odyssey floated silently in the vast emptiness of space, its crew on edge. Everyone knew something was out there, watching them. The glowing eyes that had vanished into the darkness left an unsettling feeling among the team. Ensign Daniel Brooks, who had first spotted the movement, couldn't shake the image from his mind. He replayed the sensor readings over and over, trying to make sense of what he had seen. It's like they're studying us, he muttered to himself late one night while monitoring the ship's systems. Captain Logan Hayes shared the same suspicion. He called a meeting with Lieutenant Marcus Kane and the science team to discuss their options. We can't just sit here waiting for them to make a move, Logan said firmly. If they're testing us, we need to show them we're not easy prey. Kane nodded, his sharp features set in determination. Agreed. Let's turn this around. If they want to see how dangerous we are, let's give them a show. Kane's plan was simple but effective. He ordered his soldiers to create decoys, fake activity inside the ship designed to lure the Watchers closer. Using drones equipped with heat signatures, they simulated the presence of crew members moving through the corridors. At the same time, traps were set up near vulnerable areas of the hull. If the aliens tried to board, they would walk right into an ambush. Alex Carter and Rachel Myers worked alongside the engineering team to enhance the ship's defenses. They repurposed some of the alien technology found on the derelict ship, integrating it with the Odyssey's systems. One device, in particular, caught Alex's attention: a small orb-like gadget that emitted low-frequency pulses. When activated, it disrupted nearby energy fields. "This could come in handy if things get messy," Alex said as he handed it to Kane. The lieutenant examined it briefly before nodding. "Good work. We'll use it when the time comes." For days, the crew waited anxiously. The traps were ready, the decoys were in place, and everyone was on high alert. Then, one night, the sensors picked up movement again. This time, it wasn't just glowing eyes. It was multiple shapes gliding silently toward the ship. The creatures moved with unnatural speed, slipping past the outer defenses without triggering any alarms. Daniel noticed them first and immediately sounded the alert. "They're boarding," he shouted, his voice trembling. The aliens slipped through the airlock undetected, their sleek insectoid forms blending seamlessly with the shadows. They seemed almost ghostly, their movements fluid and silent. But as they ventured deeper into the ship, they triggered the first trap. A hidden panel slid open, releasing a burst of blinding light. The aliens recoiled, their glowing eyes flickering wildly. Before they could recover, Kane's squad sprang into action. Using EMP grenades, the soldiers disabled several of the creatures instantly. The electromagnetic pulse disrupted their advanced technology, leaving them stunned and vulnerable. 2 more aliens tried to retreat, but the decoy drones herded them into another trap. Within minutes, the invaders were surrounded. One creature managed to escape back toward the airlock, but not before Kane fired a net launcher, pinning it against the wall. When the skirmish ended, the crew gathered around the captured alien. It was unlike anything they had ever seen, its body covered in shimmering scales, its limbs long and spindly. The creature hissed weakly, its glowing eyes dimming as it struggled against the net. "What do you think?" Logan asked, turning to Rachel. She hesitated, then nodded. "Let's find out why they're so scared of us." With the alien secured, Alex and Rachel prepared to interrogate it using a neural translator salvaged from the derelict ship. As they connected the device to the creature's head, the room fell silent. For the first time, humanity was about to hear directly from one of the beings that feared them. What secrets would it reveal? And what would it mean for Earth's place in the galaxy? As the translator hummed to life, the crew braced themselves for answers, and perhaps even more questions. The neural translator emitted a soft hum as it connected to the alien's head. Rachel Myers adjusted the settings carefully, her hand steady despite the tension in the room. Everyone watched silently, their eyes fixed on the creature trapped in the net. Its glowing eyes flickered weakly, and its scaled body twitched occasionally, but it no longer struggled. Whatever fear or aggression it had shown earlier seemed to have faded into exhaustion, or perhaps resignation. After a few moments, the device began translating the alien's thoughts into broken, halting English. The voice that emerged was cold and mechanical, yet unmistakably filled with dread. "You are hunters," it said, each word slow and deliberate. "We know what you do. You kill. You conquer." Lieutenant Marcus Kane stepped forward, his arms crossed. "What's your name?" he demanded, his tone firm but controlled. The alien hesitated before responding. "Zix-7," it replied. "I am Krillian." Rachel exchanged a glance with Alex Carter. The Krillians. This was the first time they had heard the name of the species. Alex quickly jotted it down in his notebook. "Why did you attack us?" Rachel asked, leaning closer to Zix-7. Her voice was calm, but there was an edge of urgency beneath it. The alien's response sent a chill through the room. "To test you," it said. "We needed to see if you are still dangerous. The stories say you destroy everything you touch." It paused, its faintly glowing eyes darting between the humans. "Stories of your kind spread across the stars. You hunt without mercy. You adapt. You survive." Logan Hayes frowned, stepping closer. "What stories? What are you talking about?" he asked. Zix-7's translation came slower this time, as though the alien was reluctant to share more. "Long ago, Your settlers came to other worlds. They fought our fleets. They wiped out entire colonies. Your hunters killed our strongest warriors with tools made of stone and wood. Alex felt a pang of unease. He had seen the footage of human settlers taking down massive beasts, but this was different. These weren't just isolated incidents. They were battles, conflicts that had left scars on the Corellian Empire. And now, Alex pressed, "Why are you here now?" Zix-7's answer was chilling. "Because we cannot ignore the threat. Earth breeds hunters. If we do not act, you will grow stronger. You will come for us." The room fell silent as the weight of the alien's words sank in. Humanity wasn't just being watched. It was being targeted. The Corellians saw Earth as a danger that needed to be eliminated before it became unstoppable. For all their advanced technology and vast empire, they feared one thing above all else: humanity's relentless nature. Rachel broke the silence. "Do you really think attacking us is the answer?" she asked softly, almost pleading. "We don't want war. We're explorers, not conquerors." Zix-7 let out a low hiss, its body trembling slightly. "Explorers become hunters. Hunters become destroyers. That is your path." Kane clenched his fists, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "So what's your plan?" he snapped. "Are you going to try to wipe us out? Is that why you sent that warning?" The alien hesitated again, its glowing eyes dimming further. "The warning was meant to stop you from coming here. But now we must prepare. The invasion has already begun." The crew exchanged alarmed glances. Logan stepped forward, his voice sharp. "Where? When?" Zix-7 didn't respond immediately. Instead, it let out a faint clicking sound, its body growing still. Rachel checked the neural translator, but the device had stopped working. The alien had gone silent. "We need to get this information back to Earth," Logan said firmly, breaking the tense quiet. "If the Corellians are planning an invasion, we can't waste any time." Alex nodded, already thinking ahead. "We can pull data from its mind using the translator logs. Maybe we'll find coordinates or plans for their fleet." As the crew worked to secure Zix-7 and extract more information, a new realization settled over them. Humanity's reputation as hunters had spread far beyond what anyone could have imagined. But with that reputation came consequences. The galaxy wasn't just watching Earth anymore. It was preparing for war. And humanity would have to decide how to respond. With the captured alien, Zix-7, secured in the ship's containment unit, Captain Logan Hayes wasted no time. The Corellians were planning an invasion, and Earth needed to know. But simply warning humanity wasn't enough. They had to act. Logan called a meeting with his key team members: Lieutenant Marcus Kane, Alex Carter, Rachel Myers, and Ensign Daniel Brooks. "We can't just sit here," Logan said firmly. "If we're going to stop them, we need to hit them where it hurts." The plan was risky but necessary. Logan proposed sending a small strike team to infiltrate the nearest Corellian outpost. Their mission would be twofold: sabotage critical systems to slow down the invasion preparations and gather intelligence on the Corellians' plans. Alex and Rachel would accompany the soldiers, their expertise vital for navigating alien technology. Kane immediately began selecting his best fighters for the task. Before leaving, the crew spent hours preparing. Alex studied the data extracted from Zix-7's mind, piecing together fragments of information about the outpost's layout. It was heavily fortified, with automated defenses and patrols of insectoid drones. "This isn't going to be easy," Alex admitted as he reviewed the schematics with Rachel. She nodded, her expression grim. "Nothing worth doing ever is." The strike team boarded a stolen Corellian shuttle, a sleek, black craft taken from the derelict ship. Disguised as one of their own vessels, it would allow them to approach the outpost undetected. As they flew through the void, tension filled the cramped space. Kane gave his team a final briefing. "Stay sharp," he said. "We go in quiet, do our job, and get out alive. No heroics." Everyone nodded. though their faces showed traces of fear and determination. When they reached the outpost, the shuttle docked without incident. The team split into two groups. Alex and Rachel headed for the central control room, tasked with hacking into the system to retrieve intel and plant explosives. Kane led his soldiers to create chaos, drawing enemy forces away from the main objective. The plan relied on speed and precision. Every second counted. Alex and Rachel moved cautiously through the dimly lit corridors, their footsteps muffled by the metallic floor. They encountered minimal resistance at first, thanks to Kane's diversion. Reaching the control room, Alex connected his portable device to the alien console. Lines of unfamiliar symbols scrolled across the screen as he worked to decipher them. "I'm in," he whispered after several tense minutes. "Downloading now." Meanwhile, Rachel prepared the explosives, placing charges in key areas. Her hands trembled slightly as she set the timers, but she forced herself to focus. "We need to hurry," she said quietly. "Kane can't keep them busy forever." In another part of the outpost, Kane and his squad fought fiercely against waves of Krillian drones. Using EMP grenades and close-quarters combat, they pushed deeper into the facility, creating enough noise to mask Alex and Rachel's activities. One soldier, Ensign Harper, took a hit from an energy weapon, forcing the others to drag him to safety. Despite the setback, Kane pressed on, his resolve unshaken. Back in the control room, Alex finished downloading the data. He turned to Rachel. "Got it. Let's move." As they retraced their steps, alarms suddenly blared throughout the outpost. Their presence had been detected. "They know we're here," Rachel shouted, clutching the explosive trigger tightly. The two groups regrouped near the shuttle, barely escaping a swarm of pursuing drones. Bullets and energy blasts ricocheted around them as they sprinted toward the exit. Once aboard, Kane slammed his fist on the launch button. The shuttle lifted off just as the first explosion rocked the outpost behind them. As they fled into space, the team watched the fireball grow smaller in the distance. Exhausted but triumphant, they knew they had struck a blow against the Krillians. But the battle was far from over. Humanity's fight for survival had only just begun. The stolen shuttle trembled as it sped away from the burning Krillian outpost, its engines roaring against the pull of the explosion. Inside, the strike team was battered but alive. Alex Carter leaned back in his seat, clutching a data drive filled with critical information about the Krillians' plans. Rachel Myers sat beside him, her hand still gripping the detonator tightly, her knuckles white. The adrenaline that had fueled their escape was beginning to fade, leaving behind exhaustion and quiet reflection. Lieutenant Marcus Kane stood near the cockpit, his sharp eyes scanning the dark expanse of space for any sign of pursuit. "We're clear for now," he said, his voice low but firm. "But they'll know we did this, and they won't forget." No one needed to ask what he meant. The Krillians were already planning an invasion, and this attack would only make them more determined to crush humanity. Still, the team couldn't help but feel a flicker of pride. They had struck back, proving once again that humans weren't easy prey. As the shuttle approached the Odyssey Captain Logan Hayes greeted them personally. His expression softened when he saw Ensign Harper being carried off by two soldiers, his uniform scorched and his face pale. "Good work," Logan said simply, addressing the group. "Now let's get you patched up and review what you've brought back." In the ship's lab, Alex and Rachel pored over the data they had retrieved. The information was fragmented, but it painted a chilling picture. The Krillians weren't just planning an invasion. They were mobilizing entire fleets, gathering resources, and coordinating with other alien species who shared their fear of Earth. One document stood out, a detailed account of human hunters from centuries past, describing how settlers on distant colonies had wiped out advanced predators using nothing but ingenuity and sheer willpower. Among these stories was the legend of Elias Ford, a lone hunter who had single-handedly taken down a pack of genetically engineered beasts using traps and improvised weapons. "These aren't just records," Alex murmured, scrolling through the text. They're warnings to themselves. They're terrified of becoming prey. Rachel nodded slowly, her mind racing. And now they see us as the ultimate threat, not because of our technology, but because of who we are. Kane listened intently as Alex explained their findings during a debriefing session. He leaned forward, resting his elbows on the table. "So what you're saying is, they're scared of us because we don't give up," he said. Alex nodded. "Exactly. We adapt. We survive. That's why they call us hunters." Inspired by the tales of resilience, Kane gathered his squad for a speech. "Listen up," he began, his voice steady but charged with emotion. "What we did today wasn't just sabotage. It was proof that we're still the hunters they fear. But this isn't over. If we want to protect Earth, we need to keep fighting, not just with weapons, but with everything we've got. Let's make sure the Krillians remember exactly why they're afraid of us." Word of the strike team's success spread quickly among the crew of the Odyssey. Morale soared, even as the reality of the looming invasion sank in. Everyone knew the road ahead would be dangerous, but there was a newfound determination in the air. Humanity wasn't just defending itself, it was reclaiming its place as a force to be reckoned with. As the Odyssey prepared to return to Earth, Alex found himself staring at the stars outside the viewport. The galaxy felt vast and hostile, yet somehow familiar. "We've always been survivors," he said softly, almost to himself. Rachel joined him, her arms crossed. "Survivors or hunters?" she asked. Alex smiled faintly. "Maybe both. Either way, we're not backing down." The Krillians had underestimated humanity before. They wouldn't make the same mistake twice. The Odyssey raced back to Earth, its crew working around the clock to prepare for what lay ahead. The data Alex and Rachel had retrieved from the Krillian outpost painted a grim picture. An invasion larger than anyone had imagined. Entire fleets were mobilizing. Alien species once thought neutral were now aligning with the Krillians, and Earth's defenses, though advanced, were nowhere near ready to face such a massive threat. Time was running out. Captain Logan Hayes transmitted the intel to Earth as soon as they entered communication range. Within hours, global leaders convened an emergency summit. Military bases went on high alert, civilians were educated on emergency protocols, and factories shifted production to focus on weapons and starship components. Humanity was uniting in a way it never had before, driven by one goal: survival. The message from the stars had been clear. Earth wasn't just being watched, it was being targeted. And humanity would fight back. Back aboard the Odyssey, Lieutenant Marcus Kane drilled his soldiers relentlessly. Using lessons learned from the alien logs and their recent mission, he emphasized unconventional tactics. "They'll expect us to rely on technology," he told his team during a training session. "But we need to think like hunters. Use the environment, improvise, and strike where they least expect it." His words resonated deeply with the crew, who had already seen how much damage could be done with clever strategy and sheer determination. As Earth prepared for war, the Odyssey approached the edge of the solar system, where a Krillian fleet had been detected gathering forces. Logan made the call to intercept them. "If we can weaken them here," he explained to his crew, "we buy Earth more time to get ready." Everyone understood the risks. This wasn't just another skirmish. It was a stand against overwhelming odds. But no one hesitated. They had come too far to back down now. The battle began with a tense standoff. The Odyssey faced off against dozens of Krillian ships, their sleek designs bristling with weaponry. For a moment, neither side moved. Then, without warning, the aliens opened fire. Bright beams of energy streaked through space, forcing the Odyssey to dodge and weave. Logan barked orders, his voice steady despite the chaos erupting around him. "Return fire. Target their engines." Rachel Myers played a crucial role in the fight. Using the alien orb-like device Alex had salvaged earlier, she disrupted the Krillian shields, leaving their ships vulnerable. "Now," she shouted, her voice cutting through the noise. The Odyssey's cannons roared to life, striking several enemy vessels in quick succession. Explosions lit up the void as debris floated silently into the darkness. Meanwhile, Alex worked tirelessly to monitor the battlefield. He plotted trajectories, identified weak points in the Krillian formation, and relayed critical information to Logan. "Their command ship is at the center," he said urgently. "Take it out, and the rest will fall into disarray." Logan nodded sharply. "All hands, focus fire on the command ship." The battle raged on, each side taking heavy losses. The Odyssey's hull sustained significant damage, sparks flying across the bridge as systems overloaded. Ensign Daniel Brooks scrambled to repair critical functions, his hands moving quickly over the controls. Despite the chaos, the crew remained focused. Every shot fired reminded the Krillians why they had feared humanity in the first place. Finally, after what felt like hours, the command ship exploded in a brilliant burst of light. The remaining Krillian vessels broke formation, retreating into the depths of space. Exhausted but victorious, the crew of the Odyssey let out a collective breath. They had won, for now. As the ship limped back toward Earth, Logan addressed his team. "We showed them what we're capable of," he said. "But this isn't over. Not by a long shot." No one disagreed. The galaxy had seen humanity's strength, but the real fight was still to come.